Use questioning as a method to learn. English tenses. Part 7 of 10. Question number 1. What tense do you use to describe an action that happened before another action in the past? Answer: past perfect tense. Examples: she had already left when I called. I had eaten dinner before they arrived. The movie had started by the time we got to the cinema. He had finished his homework before he went to bed. They had closed the store when we reached it. Question number 2. When a past action was completed by a certain time in the past, what tense do you use? Answer: past perfect tense, with by or by the time. Examples: by 10 p.m., I had finished all my work. By the time he was 20, he had traveled to 5 countries. She had graduated college by 2018. The rain had stopped by morning. He had already learned French by the age of 15. Question number 3. How do you talk about a past action that happened earlier than expected in a past context? Answer: past perfect tense, with already. Examples: I thought he wouldn't come, but he had already arrived. The train had already left when we got to the station. She had already cooked dinner before her husband came home. They had already seen the film, so we watched another. He had already eaten all the cake. Question number 4. What tense helps explain why something happened in the past, by referring to a previous past action? Answer: past perfect tense. Examples: I couldn't get in because I had forgotten my keys. She was tired because she had worked all night. He was angry because they had lied to him. The car stopped because it had run out of gas. They recognized him because they had met him before. Question number 5. What tense describes a past action that was necessary before another past event could happen? Answer: past perfect tense. Examples: I had packed my suitcase before I went to the airport. She had bought the ingredients before she baked the cake. They had practiced hard before the competition. He had studied for months before the exam. We had saved money before we bought the car. Question number 6. What tense indicates that an action was not done until then in the past? Answer: past perfect tense, with until then. Examples: I hadn't realized how tired I was until then. She hadn't seen him until then. They hadn't met him until then. He hadn't thought about it until then. We hadn't eaten anything until then. Question number 7. How do you show that a past state or condition existed up to a point in the past? Answer: past perfect tense. Examples: he had been a student for 5 years before he became a teacher. She had been sick for a week before she went to the doctor. They had owned that car for 10 years before they sold it. I had known her for a long time before we became friends. The city had been quiet before the festival started. Question number 8. When do you use the past perfect to correct a past statement? Answer: past perfect tense. Examples: you said you saw John, but he had left before you arrived. I thought I knew the answer, but I had forgotten it. She said she sent the email, but she had sent it to the wrong person. They claimed they won, but they had lost the previous game. He reported the mistake, but I had already fixed it. Question number 9. What tense describes an action that happened earlier in your life from a point in your past narrative? Answer: past perfect tense. Examples: when I was 10, I remembered a trip I had taken when I was 5. She looked at the old photo of a house where she had lived years before. He thought about the lessons he had learned in his youth. They talked about the cities they had visited during their travels. I knew the song because I had heard it on the radio. Question number 10. When telling a story, what tense do you use to look back from a point in the past to something that happened even earlier? Answer: past perfect tense. Examples: He told me that he had lived in Japan. She explained that she had never seen snow before that day. I knew that I had left my phone at home. They recalled how they had met years ago. The house looked different because they had painted it. Like, comment and subscribe.